Hello and welcome to another Studemia tutorial. Today we're going to unravel the mystery behind file and folder permissions in Linux. Now let me explain your file permission with an example and use case. Think of permissions like a security system for your computer's personal files like your document folder, vacation folder, and music folder. Let us take an example of your computer having an album folder and has 3 different users, which are you, your friend, and your cousin. Determining who can come in, read, or see your picture on the computer folder, who can rearrange the album, write, or even who can modify it, execute. Let us break it down into simple terms. Basics of Linux file permissions. Every file and folder in Linux has certain rules that dictate who can do what with it. There are 3 basic permissions. 1. Read permission denoted as R, like allowing someone to view the pictures in your photo album. 2. Write permission denoted as W, like giving someone the marker to add captions in your album. 3. Execute permission denoted as X, like letting someone put on a slideshow with your album. And these permissions apply to 3 groups of people. 1. The owner. That is you, the creator of the file. 2. The group. Think of this as your family members who share the album. 3. Others, everyone else who is not part of your family. As you can see, I have output from L, AS-L, AS, and we are going to break it down line by line. What are the below folder? Has permission and how you can understand segment by segment. Let us analysis only first highlighted album folder permission only. In the first line of the output, we see details about the item named album. The number 4 at the beginning indicates the size of the album directory in blocks, a unit of measurement used by the file system to allocate space, the string D. And following later are WX, and right after later are WX, and last later are -X following it is the permission string for this directory. The initial D character signifies that album is a directory, not a regular file. The next set of characters are W. X pertains to the permissions granted to the owner of the directory, who in this case is the user DT. These permissions, read R, write W, and execute X, mean that the user DT can open the directory to view its contents R, create or remove files within it W, and enter the directory or run a program or script located in it X. The second set of permissions, also RWX, applies to the group associated with the file. Here the group is also named DT, indicating that any user who is a member of this group has the same level of access as the owner. The final set of permissions, R-X, applies to all other users. They can read and execute, which means they can view the contents and enter the directory, but they cannot modify it by adding or removing files. No W permission means no write permission. Additionally, the number 2 represents the count of hard links to this directory. Hard links, think of. It is a count of how many file system entries refer to this directory. The DT part reiterates that both the owner and the group assigned to this directory are DT. 4096 is the size of the directory in bytes, indicating how much space it takes up on the disk. The timestamp November 22, 1723 is the last date and time when the directory was modified. Finally, album at the end of the line is, of course, the name of the directory itself. As we reach the end of today's tutorial, I hope you gained valuable insights and understanding from our discussion. Remember, practice is key to mastering these concepts, so I encourage you to apply what you've learned in your Linux environment. That concludes our session for now, but our learning journey does stop here. In our next tutorial, we're going to dive into a very crucial aspect of Linux administration: modifying file and folder permissions.